I never imagined that a single morning could twist my life into something unrecognizable. But that Tuesday did exactly that. My name is Daniel, I'm 38, and I run a small but stable accounting firm in Seattle. If there was one thing I always prided myself on, it was being dependable. The man people could count on, the man who valued honesty and loyalty above all else. For 12 years, I believed my wife Vanessa and I had built a marriage on those very principles. Trust, commitment, love. At least, that's what I thought. That day began like any other. I came downstairs expecting the usual comforts, the faint aroma of coffee filling the air, the soft hum of our old radio perched on the counter, maybe even a half-smile from Vanessa as she scrolled her phone. But instead, I walked into a kitchen that felt colder than stone. She was already there, standing against the counter, arms folded. When our eyes met, something inside me froze. There was no warmth, no affection. Her face was carved in a look that made my pulse quicken. And in her eyes I saw something that made my gut clench. "Daniel," she said, her voice calm, deliberate, too even. "We need to talk." I set my mug down carefully, masking the sudden unease crawling up my spine. "Okay, what's wrong?" She drew in a breath, slow and steady, as though rehearsing for a role. And then the words came, slicing through the room. "I'm pregnant," she said. At first, my mind didn't recoil. We'd talked about children before, even though the timing never felt right. But then came the blow that left me hollow. "But you're not the father." The world tilted. My chest tightened, my hands trembled. And it felt like every brick of trust I'd stacked over 12 years came tumbling down in an instant. I stared at her, unable to process, as silence swallowed the room whole. The woman who had once laughed at my bad jokes, who had comforted me through long nights of exhaustion, who had promised loyalty and devotion, now stood before me like a stranger. My voice was barely more than a whisper when I finally managed to speak. "I don't even know what to say." She didn't flinch. Leaning on the counter, her gaze was sharp, almost challenging. "You don't need to say anything," she said flatly. "I know this will hurt you. I know you'll hate me for it. But it's the truth. And I've made my decision." Her words weren't a slip. They weren't a desperate confession. They were cold, deliberate, calculated. She had chosen her moment carefully, hoping to wound me, to strip me of control. And though her revelation pierced deep, something inside me shifted. She expected fury, tears, begging. She wanted me shattered. But I refused to give her what she wanted. I drew in a breath, steadying myself, letting silence stretch between us until it pressed on her more than